Hello everyone and welcome back to the Adams Eats Kitchen. Hope you're having a good day, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is and whatever part of the world you're living. Now today I'm making that classic school dinner, the corned beef hash. Now I don't know about you, but when I was a kid this was my favourite thing to eat at school. I always look forward to it because, I mean, my school dinners were pretty bad, alright? I mean, it was either pizza and chips, they had lasagna sometimes, which was just really bland and horrible, salad, which no one ever touched, and really rubbish sandwiches that had hardly any filling, but occasionally they'd stick that on the menu and I'd go absolutely bananas for it. I mean, let's be honest, corned beef hash isn't the most pretty looking dish. You know, the one I had at school was kind of this homogenised gloop of kind of mashed potato, corned beef and baked beans. But it was warming, it was delicious and it filled me up. I mean, this is a really good comfort food dish, right? There's nothing fancy about it, you know, it's not the sort of thing you'd order in a fine dining restaurant. Yes, I think I shall have the corned beef hash. It sounds absolutely marvellous. I'll have a bottle of Bollinger, and will you be a good fellow and fetch me a pair of slippers, because for some unknown reason I've come out for dinner without my shoes. Now I'm going to kind of modernise my corned beef hash a bit. You know, I'm not going to use mashed potato because I want texture in there. I don't want it all gloopy. I want nice chunks of potato that I can feel and taste. I'm not going to add any baked beans because, again, I don't want it kind of too mushy and gloopy. And we're going to put some onions in there, a bit of garlic, some Worcester sauce, some mustard, and then I'm going to top it with a couple of fried eggs. So that's what we're going to make today, folks. Again, following the usual drill. If you hit that pause button, make a list of what you need and we'll crack on with it. Right, okay, so we've got a little bit of prep to do, and the first thing I need to do is to slice up these onions. So I'm just going to get my knife, take them out of this bag. Oh, need a rubbish bowl. And all I'm going to do is just slice up these onions. I'm probably going to use 1.5 actually, because you know these look quite large. Usual drill, folks, just slice it in half, peel it. All I'm going to do is just slice it into slices. Okay, just like so. Get that into a pan. And then do the same with the rest of the onion. Right, so I've sliced the onions, I've got them in a pan here. Now we're going to get the corned beef out of its tin, which is always a bit of a game, isn't it? Let's be honest. Get that stupid key thing off, twist it round. Which way is it going? That way, isn't it? God, those onions are strong. Crying here. And it should just come out with relative ease. Fa-dump. And then all I'm going to do with this is just cut it into fairly large cubes. We'll get it into slices first, and then into strips, and then just cut it like so. You know, that kind of size. You don't want it too small because it will just disappear into the dish. Okay, and I'm just going to put those to one side on a plate. And I'm just going to quickly wash my hands because they're all kind of corned beefy-ish. Right, so now what we're going to do is chop the potatoes. Now you want about 600 grams-ish, you know, give or take. And I'm not even going to peel them, I'm going to leave the skins on because they have lots of flavour. Now if you've got potatoes that have got a lot of soil on, then just rinse them under the tap, just move those out of the way. And all we're going to do is just slice these into chunks, roughly the same size as the corned beef. You know, that's the kind of size you're looking for, and then just do the same with the rest of the spuds. Okay, so once you've chopped up your potatoes, I'm going to get those into a bowl, just out of the way. Now the only other thing you need to chop up is some garlic, but I'm not going to show you how to do that. So now we can get on and cook the onions. Right, so I've got my pan here, I'm going to get it onto a low to medium heat, add some olive oil, a small knob of butter, just a little bit of salt. And what we're looking to do is to cook these onions down for about 10 to 15 minutes till they're nice and soft and they're slightly caramelised. You know, you don't want them black like burger onions, just a nice light brown hue which is going to bring out the sweetness and it's going to add a real nice flavour to the dish. So I'll cook these down and I'll see you folks in a bit. Right, so after about 10 minutes, that's the colour you want, they're nice and soft. They've got that nice golden tint to them. Then we're going to add the garlic, then your potatoes, and then cook that for about 30 seconds to a minute just to take the rawness out of that garlic and get those potatoes nice and coated in that lovely oil. Then we're going to add the beef stock, and then we need to let that simmer for about 15 to 25 minutes until the potatoes are nice and tender. Right, okay, so it's been about 20 minutes now and you can see that stock has nicely reduced. Those potatoes are nice and tender. So now we can add the corned beef. I'm going to add just a bit of pepper. I'm not going to add any salt because there's plenty of salt in the corned beef, and obviously the stock as well. Now to balance out the richness in this dish, we need some astringency, so I'm going to use some Worcester sauce. You want about 1.5 tablespoons, and then just for a little bit of a kick, a couple of teaspoons of English mustard. At this point as well, get your grill on so it's nice and hot. Give that a good old mix up. Try to be a bit careful because you don't want to turn that corned beef into mush. Okay, and now that's all mixed up, we can get it under the grill. Now that needs to cook under the grill for about 5 minutes until that corned beef is nice and warm through and that top is nice and crisp. Right, so it's been under the grill for about 5 minutes. You can see it's got that nice kind of charred, crispy top. Again, it's not the prettiest thing. And to finish this off, no self-respecting corned beef hash would be complete without a couple of lovely golden fried eggs. And then just for a bit of fanciness, a spattering of chives. Now this will serve 2 really hungry people, but it will stretch to 4. Obviously if you're doing it for 4 people, then obviously do more fried eggs. So I'm going to quickly take a picture of it and we'll give it a taste. Right, let's give this a whirl. I'm going to try it off camera because I want to get a nice close-up shot to give you some lovely egg filth. So let's bust open that yolk. Whoa. That one as well, why not? Try and get a bit of everything. Get some of that egg on there. Let's go in. Oh, it's hearty, salty, warming. It's a very grown-up taste because we've got the Worcester sauce and the mustard in there. So there's lots of depth of flavour, nice bit of kick from that mustard. But it still reminds me of that satisfying corned beef hash that I used to have at school. Different, but the same sort of flavours. They must have used mustard and Worcester sauce in theirs, I don't know. But like I've said a million times before, folks, that is wizard. Well, there we are, folks, corned beef hash. It's delicious, simple to make, warming, and cheap as chips. Now there's lots of different recipes on how to make corned beef hash. You know, this might be criminal to some of you out there. So let me know in the comments what you think of the recipe and also your recipes for making corned beef hash and any other recipe suggestions you want me to make. Like I said before, I do actually have a physical list of your recipes that you want me to make. I just haven't got around to making any yet. So that about wraps up today's video, guys. So thanks again for tuning in and watching. If you like what you see, then stick a like down below and also hang around at the end because there'll be some links to some of the videos. And if you're not a subscriber, there'll be a button for that as well. And I'll see you lovely people next time for more tasty fun and frolics. And bye for now.